Welcome to the end of your week, and today is extra special because it's someone's birthday today. Not mine. I'm Paolo del Rosario, though. Let's get you up to speed with some news that you could use right now.
Rise and shine, beautiful people. I'm Anne Asis-Carilo, TGIF. Let's make today unforgettable with good vibes, great company, and loads of inspiration.
Happy Friday! We finally made it to the end of the week. I'm Monique Tuzon. Your mornings are always more fun with us. Join us in the next hour and a half for stories and conversations that matter. So it's someone's birthday, extra special. It's Anne's birthday!
Yay! Oh my goodness!
Happy birthday!
I feel so old, but thank you so much.
I did not say that. She said that herself.
It's the anniversary of her life. I know. And I'm just happy that, of course, you had no idea how much it took for me to make a pun.
We have to be extra nice to Anne today because it's her birthday.
No, Paolo said no daw.
He was nice to you since this morning. So
no, I'm just mean to you.
What's new? What's new, pal?
It's not being nice to me. It was just directed at you, all the bullying.
So what are your birthday plans? How does an ambisyosa like you celebrate their birthdays?
Nothing special, really. I just celebrate it with my family because I have work. I have this and then I have radio later. So there.
Ang simple naman.
As a working girl.
Oh my God, Pao!
It's never gonna end the whole show. Ang daming pa.
This is
Kaya
taking.
guwapo si Pao today.
It's been taking
Unbelievably
everything out
guwapo.
from me right now, just to do all those puns.
But really, Anne,
It's
guwapo
so
mo
sweet.
today.
Oo. Unbelievable.
Hindi ako sanay, guys. No, but honestly, once again, on behalf of the entire team, happy birthday. But of course, we have a lot to discuss here later. We're going to learn about personal branding as well
I'm
later on.
excited about that. And we're gonna learn about semi-permanent makeup as well.
I know.
That is interesting because I have no experience in it. I'm sure you have.
Not really yet. We're talking
Not
about
yet.
lips, actually.
Really?
Yes. So baka pwede ka.
And it's not the lip plumping, it's actually just the tint. So you put
and there's
color
also
on your lips.
neutralizing.
Yeah.
So you wake up with really nice pink lips.
I was worried kasi may pa-plump pa to.
Direct pa zoom in.
Now we're good.
Can we zoom in on that,
Let's
please?
zoom in on that plump lip.
The most kissable lips on television.
Wow, I did
I did not say
I did not say that. Okay, I did not. I'm conservative. My gosh, I am shocked. But
Hindi kami naniniwala. So anyway, guys, do join us for the next hour and a half because it's going to be a really special episode today. But
Kasi birthday mo.
Oh, kasi birthday ko. Exactly. But first, let's give them news they can use. Let's start with a look at the major roads in Metro Manila at this hour. Here is the situation, guys, along EDSA Quezon Avenue flyover. On the left side of your screens are vehicles going to Quiapo. You will be stepping on the brakes on that stretch. Moderate traffic already building up. On the right side are vehicles bound for the Quezon Memorial Circle. Light to moderate traffic on that particular stretch. Now let us take a look this time at EDSA White Plains. Woo! On the left side is the southbound lane going to Shaw Boulevard, already busy at this time. Moderate to heavy traffic building up. On the right side, northbound lane headed to Cubao, still free-flowing at this time. Now, the expanded vehicle number coding scheme is in full swing. It is a Friday. Vehicles with license plates ending in 9 and 0 should be off the road right about now till 10 a.m. and again later from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Now let's find out what the weather is going to be like on this Friday. Paolo has today's forecast from Weather HQ. Take it away, Pao.
thank you so much, Mo, as we take a look at the weather happening here today. Now, we were actually monitoring an LPA for the last couple of days. Well, this low pressure area that Pagas is monitoring was last spotted 95 kilometers east of Hinatuan in Surigao del Sur. As you can see here, it is right here, the bottom part of the country. Do watch out for that. We will be giving you more and more updates as time goes on when it comes to that. But this LPA still has a low chance of developing into a tropical cyclone, especially as it moves closer to the Philippine landmass. Now, Pag-asa says that it may dissipate over the upcoming weekend. However, Today, it is expected to bring cloudy skies with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms over the Caraga region in particular. Now, it will also affect the eastern parts of the Visayas region, as you can see here, as well as Albay, Sorsogon, Catanduanes, and Masbate. Now, residents in these areas are advised to make sure that they are cautious for any sudden flash floods or landslides. So that is going to be due to the moderate to heavy rainfall in the area. Now, looking at the satellite, now we can see clear skies, which will mean hot weather is expected because the easterlies will also continue to bring this type of weather. Now, it will affect the rest of the country, although isolated rain showers or thunderstorms may prevail all throughout the day, in particular in the afternoon or in the evening. So the easterlies in the rest of the country, while the LPA is affecting the south part of the country. Now, let's take a look at the heat index forecast for today. We're still very concerned about this tag-init season. After all, now several areas are currently experiencing the extreme heat and are within what we call the danger zone. Now, the Dagupan City in Pangasinan remains the hottest at a whopping 46 degrees Celsius in terms of the heat index. That's followed by General Santos City, Apari in Cagayan, Tuguegarao City in Cagayan, Bayombong in Nueva Vizcaya, Olongapo City, Sangli Point in Cavite City, and Cuyo in Palawan. All of those temperatures ranging from 42 to 43 degrees Celsius in terms of the heat index. That means that is actually the temperature that you do feel on your skin. It takes into account the humidity as well. Let's take a look at the areas under extreme caution. Now, all of these areas are around 40 degrees Celsius in terms of the heat index. That includes Metro Manila, Bacnotan, La Union, Etiaga, Isabela, Iba, Zambales, San Ildefonso, Bulacan, Tanawan, Batangas, San Jose, in Occidental Mindoro, Zamboanga City, and Davao City. So 40 degrees Celsius in all of those areas, 4 degrees Celsius in terms of the weather, the heat that you actually feel. Now, residents in these areas are under danger zone, so make sure that you do stay cool. You make sure that you don't stay out in the middle of the sun, or rather out exposed to the sun throughout the day, and make sure that you do whatever you could to avoid any heat-related illnesses. Let's take a look at the sea conditions happening here in the country. There are no gale warnings around, so that means wherever you are in the Philippines, if you're a mariner, if you're a sailor, if you're a fisherman, you are allowed to go out to sea, but make sure that you do pay attention to the immediate weather conditions because they may change in an instant. Now, that's it for Weather HQ at the moment. Back to you, girls, especially you, birthday girl.
Thank you so much, Pao. Now on to our national news this morning. Vice President Sara Duterte attempts to visit his father or her father, President Rodrigo Duterte, at the detention facility in The Hague, Netherlands, yesterday, hours before his 80th birthday. BNC's At the Forefront anchor, attorney Karen Jimeno, is in The Hague and spoke to VP Sara.
Hindi ko po nakausap si Pangulong Duterte ngayong araw na ito. Nandito lang po kami para kunin yung mga gamit na pinapakuha na hiningi namin na kunin kasi hindi na siya mapasok doon sa loob ng kwarto ni Pangulong Duterte. Kaya binalik nila sa amin yung mga gamit para mag-inventaryo at itago para kay Pangulong Duterte.
Okay naman siya?
Hindi po kami nagkita ngayon, araw na ito. Opo. Nandito lang kami para kunin yung gamit po ni Pangulo.
Shortly after the VP left, FPRRD's partner Hanilet Avancenia arrived at the detention facility in an attempt to visit as well. Items that the former president could not use inside detention were seen retrieved from the premises.
All hands on deck hours before Filipinos are expected to gather near the International Criminal Court to commemorate former President Rodrigo Duterte's 80th birthday. BNC's At the Forefront anchor, attorney Karen Jimeno, gives us a look at the situation in The Hague.
I'm currently here at The Hague in the Netherlands, and right behind me is the ICC detention facility where former President Rodrigo Duterte is currently being detained. A few steps away from here is you see the area where Filipinos gather to show their support for former President Duterte. So it is within this metal barricade that people gather. This metal barricade was only added recently by the ICC, and I suppose it's to contain where people can congregate, because as you can see, the detention facility is right in the middle of a neighborhood. These are private residences, so you can just imagine the disturbance it can cause if there are large crowds and people make a lot of noise. This is the Pomp Station Veg, where Filipinos are expected to gather today for a picnic to celebrate the 80th birthday of former President Rodrigo Duterte. And as you can see, it's not a big space, so the challenge is to fit a lot of people here for a picnic with food. Because what I heard is that there will be around 500 to 700 people that are expected today, and a lot of people are going to be bringing food. Kanya-kanya daw silang nag-volunteer na magdala ng food. So this is really an organic gathering that was organized by people. And I met so many people that came from different parts of the world. Merong mga galing ng US, galing sa Malta, Italy, United Kingdom, and meron din mga galing sa Philippines who flew in here just to show their support and to celebrate the 80th birthday of former President Duterte. With some of our kababayan Filipinos here na nag-travel pa just to be here. Taga saan po kayo?
We are based in Malta po.
Malta. So nagbiyahe pa kayo?
Opo.
Hanggang kailan po kayo nandito?
Hanggang tonight lang after the celebration.
So talagang pumunta lang kayo para dun sa 80th birthday celebration?
Yes po.
Kayo po?
And to support Duterte for
To show our support for our former president.
Taga Malta rin po kayo?
Opo.
Lahat kayo? Wow! Ano po ang message nyo sa birthday ni Tatay Digong?
So for me, good health lang po and take it easy po, tatay, and laban lang po tayo mga Pilipino.
Kayo po, meron ba kayong message para kay Tatay Digong?
Sa akin, makauwi siya as soon as possible. Yan lang po.
Kayo po, ma'am?
Para sa akin, I've always been praying na sana maging madali para sa kanya ang lahat ng nangyayari. Same with his family and of course to all the Filipinos, and sana din makauwi na siya the soonest.
Maraming salamat
Thank
po.
you.
Enjoy the celebration. Thank you.
Thank you.
The celebration is expected to begin at 10 a.m. in The Hague or 5 p.m. Philippine time.
A committee led by Senator Amy Marcos says there were violations behind the ICC arrest of former President Rodrigo Duterte. The committee says the Philippines were not legally obliged to turn Duterte over to the ICC because a red notice from the Interpol was not received. It also claims Duterte's rights had, quote, glaring violations, including the lack of a local arrest warrant. This comes after Senator Amy withdrew from the party of her brother, President Bongbong Marcos.
Gusto lang nagtatago ang ating gobyerno ng mahahalagang katotohanan at hindi ko talaga matanggap, kaya't kinakailangan malaman natin at hayaan na lamang ako na malaya na magsiyasat. Hindi namin nauwi yung tatay kong buhay. Sana ito naman matagumpay tayo maiuwi si Presidente Duterte. Tulad ng ama ko pareho nilang sinasabi, haharap ako sa anumang kaso at paglilitis sa Pilipinas.
Malacanang says Senator Amy's findings will yield such results if she only spoke to Duterte supporters. Palace Press Officer Claire Castro says the president is not irked with the situation surrounding him and his sister.
Wala rin po tayong nadinig na anumang hinanakit kung meron man mula sa Pangulo para sa kanyang kapatid.
The PNP clarifies the claim of Senator Bato de la Rosa that his security detail in Davao was recalled this week. The police explains De La Rosa's security escorts have long been recalled, and not because of a new directive. Under COMELEC rules, a candidate's security details may be recalled during the election period unless they secure an exemption. The PNP also says 2 of De La Rosa's security detail in Davao were recalled back in January because they failed to secure an approved certificate.
So hindi po totoo yung kumakalat na balita na ngayon lamang po yan inalis. And in fact, nakalimutan marahil banggitin ng ating kagalang-galang na senador na meron pong nakadetail sa kanya na 4 na protective security personnel.
Philippine National Police intensifies security measures as local campaign period starts today. As of March 23, 35 suspected election-related incidents have been reported, 15 of which have been confirmed to be election-related. 20 were dismissed and 4 more are under investigation in the Region 11 and Region 4A at Cordillera Administrative Region. PNP expects a number of crimes to rise, particularly in hotspots Maguindanao and Abra.
Meantime, COMELEC Chairman George Garcia reminds candidates to follow the rules and regulations when it comes to the start of the local campaign period. COMELEC says posters and tarpaulins should strictly be 2 by 3 feet and should be made of environmentally friendly materials. Candidates are not allowed to give away food, luxurious items rather, and money. They are also not allowed to accompany distribution of exempted social services. On Thursday, a memorandum of agreement was signed between Commission on Elections, the DILG, the Health Department, and Red Cross to safeguard peace and order on the day of the elections.
The Duterte Youth Party list mincing no words over the disqualification cases it is facing. Ronald Cardema, the party list's chairman, says they are actually supporting the armed forces and the police and called out groups such as the Kabataan Party List for allegedly siding with rebel forces. The Duterte Youth Party list is facing libel and perjury cases over claims the group is misrepresenting the youth. The petitioners say Cardema was already beyond the age limit when he took office.
Baliw ba kayo? Ikatlong eleksyon na namin to. I am the one representing and serving the sector before and after their petition.
The U.S. Embassy in the Philippines welcomed U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, who arrived in the Philippines last night. Hegseth is in the Philippines until Saturday to meet with his Philippine counterpart, Gilbert Teodoro, along with President Bongbong Marcos. Their talks will touch on the issues surrounding West Philippine Sea, among other alliance and security objectives. The U.S. official visited Hawaii and Guam before arriving in Manila and will visit Japan next.
In world news, Britain's King Charles spent a short time under observation in hospital on Thursday after experiencing side effects from his treatment for cancer. The Buckingham Palace said the king has been having treatment for the illness since he was diagnosed with an unspecified form of cancer in February last year. The palace said he had returned to his home, Clarence House, and that as a precaution, his engagements for Friday would be rescheduled.
6 Russians died and 39 foreign tourists were rescued when a submarine sank off the Red Sea in Egypt. Authorities said no more passengers or crew were still missing. The Russian consulate said the submarine named Sinbad had 45 Russian tourists on board in addition to crew. The submarine was designed for viewing, equipped with large portholes to let passengers see Red Sea's corals and marine life.
Over in sports, the vibes are high and the stakes are even higher for Alex Ayala as she competes at the Miami Open semifinals. The Filipino wildcard will face American fourth seed Jessica Pegula later at 8:30 a.m. Philippine time. Ayala has been on a remarkable campaign in Miami where she has slayed 3 former Grand Slam champs, including world number 2 Iga Swiatek. The 19-year-old star's rankings also saw a massive leap from 134 to a career high of 75. Pegula, on the other hand, is a finalist from last year's U.S. Open. She earned her spot in the last 4 after defeating British star Emma Raducanu in the quarterfinals. Now, Alex Ayala also says that she is grateful for the support that she has received throughout her Cinderella run in Miami. On Instagram, the Filipino tennis star says that she can't begin to describe the feeling she has right now. Alex adds, quote, "Ang layo na narating natin pero tuloy pa rin ang laban." She even posted her take on the viral "Sumakses" trend online.
Ganon. Makikita mo sa imagine mo, success ka eh. Bigla kang sumakses eh. Pero step by the step pala. Bago ka sumakses. Pero yung na-imagine mo, biglang kang sumakses.
Napaka-casual. Regardless of the outcome, Alex Ayala is guaranteed to receive at least $332,000 or over 18 million pesos in prize money as a semifinalist. The runner-up will take home nearly $600,000 US, while the Miami Open champion will earn $1.12 million. And over here at home, the TNT Tropang Giga and Barangay Ginebra San Miguel are all set for the last dance in the PBA Commissioner's Cup Finals. The winner-take-all Game 7, no better words in sports, is scheduled for tonight at 7:30 p.m. at the Smart Araneta Coliseum. The Tropang Giga extended the series after staging a great escape against Barangay Ginebra in Game 6 last Wednesday. The Gin Kings, on the other hand, are determined to regain the Commissioner's Cup, which they last won back in 2023. All eyes are on resident import Justin Brownlee, who has played in the series despite nursing a thumb injury.
Now moving on to entertainment, Atlanta-based indie artist Faye Webster finally comes to the Philippines for the first time. Webster's Manila concert will be held at the Philinvest tent in Alabang, Muntinlupa City on July 21. The one-section standing show will be priced at 4,640 pesos and will be on sale on April 2 from 10 a.m. onwards.
Now, you still have one more weekend to catch the hottest music documentary in the country right now. The Eraserheads Combo on the Run got an extended theatrical run due to public demand. The docu-film explores the OPM Fab Four and the events leading to their reunion concert in 2022. Now, I got to speak with Eraserheads frontman Ellie Bundia and director Diane Ventura. And Ellie shared with us a story that actually didn't make the cut.
This is a cliche, and I'm not proud of it because I think it's really stupid. It's the cliche of rock stars trashing their hotels. We actually did that in San Francisco because we were, intoxicated, and it's in the film.
I actually did not include that. That eventually did not make it in the film. So you guys are hearing that for the first time. They trashed their hotel rooms. They were like really being these, spoiled rock stars, and the police were called, and yeah.
But it was, we didn't do it deliberately. We were under.
They were under the influence.
Under the influence of fun.
Catch my interview with Ellie Bundia and Diane Ventura on At the Forefront later at 9 a.m. only here on the Bilyonario News Channel. Congratulations to Diane, because I was able to catch the Combo on the Run documentary. It was fantastic. It was really made for Eraserheads fans, and if you're a big fan like me, you're really going to enjoy the movie.
What if you're not like Mo?
I think you'll be
I have
able
to watch it because I need to learn about them.
Yeah, you'll
I'm
be
going to
able
do that
to
this
appreciate it
weekend.
because it starts
Not watch the documentary, the music first.
Yeah, it starts from when they first formed the band back then in UP, and then you'll see their history all throughout, and then you get to see the reason why they disbanded. And
bakit nga ba?
I feel like it all boils down to them not talking to each other.
So miscommunication?
Yeah, and also how men.
She became an analyst for
we
Eraserheads.
actually talked about that during the interview, me and Diane. Like, hindi lang talaga sila nag-uusap. You know how men are ma-pride? They don't really want to. No. Compared to women, kasi women are, it's easier for women to talk about their feelings. But do you easily talk about your feelings with other people? like if you have a
Birthday
rift
mo
against
ang
somebody.
hirap awayin
Just let's let her talk on her
Ang hirap
birthday.
awayin eh.
No!
I mean, at least your dream came true. You've
know.
been asking
Yes,
for
yes.
tickets, but instead of tickets, she got an interview.
I know, I got an
with
interview and I
El
was able to
Buendia.
get that golden ticket to their surprise mini concert.
Wait, sorry, did they give you a ticket to go or they said
No,
like,
I bought-
you're gonna be here and you bought
Oh, so
it?
she bought
So you still
ticket.
bought it.
She still bought it.
I didn't want to ask also if she was going to give a free ticket to that. I wasn't gonna.
But, you know what? I'm dying ni Anne because she also asked where their surprise pop-up
Yeah,
was. So
I-
she found out
yeah.
where, so that's where she went.
And then when she was there like, oh my gosh, what a surprise! No, but of course, congratulations again to the guys at the Razorheads,
yes.
and of course for the extended run. It's also-
Yeah, and I
it's
can't
a
wait to
big
watch
deal.
your interview.
Later
Yeah.
at 9 a.m.
Well, speaking of interview, we have some beauty talk coming up next with a young CEO and beauty expert, Chris Pino. Don't go away. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back.
Después de escuchar las noticias del concierto ayer al que no pude ir porque ya tenía entrada para ayer, ha sido reconfortante, ha sido increíble, ha sido maravilloso poder tenerla cerca y al menos así de cierta manera poder verla hasta que se reprograme la fecha cancelada.
Hello and welcome to Follow the Money. I'm Rain Musni. Join us as we explore the tools and insights you need to jumpstart your financial journey.
We empower.
This country deserves a real choice in the next election.
We motivate.
Do not invest money that you're not able to afford to lose.
Changes that are vital.
We're monitoring the sale of these products online.
Follow the money with Rain Musni.
Keep it here on the Billionaire News Channel. Always on top.
Hello, welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. Now, the face card never declines with semi-permanent makeup and particularly for more kissable lips. Lip blush and lip neutralization are only some of your best options. Now, let's find out more about the much-needed pampering this Women's Month from beauty expert Chris Pino. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning. Good morning, Monique. Good morning, Anne. And good morning, Paolo.
Chris, first of all, you look so beautiful today.
Yeah.
And I know Paolo's also trying to get that beauty. He's trying to get more kissable lips. So let's talk about it. What is a lip blush versus lip neutralization?
So, lip blush is a semi-permanent makeup procedure, and it's designed to enhance your lips, enhance the lip shape, enhance the color, and give a long-wearing tint. So usually, right, I think the longest wearing lipstick we can have, like in terms of makeup, it would be like 12 or more hours, or maybe up to 16 hours.
When you eat, it still comes off.
It still comes off. But if you want something that will last 1 to 3 years, then lip blush or lip tattoo is good for you,
So, sorry, how long does it normally last?
So it ranges from 1 to 3 years, and there are several factors that can affect the longevity of your lip blush, such as your health condition, how much you go under the sun if you like to go to the beach, how much you wear sunscreen, and that's why I always, tell my clients to be mindful to wear sunscreen if they want to go out and stuff like that. So there are several factors. That's why the longevity varies per person.
And the lip neutralization, what does that do?
Yeah, so essentially, lip neutralization is the same procedure as lip blush. It's also a type of tattoo, semi-permanent makeup tattoo. But lip neutralization is more specialized insofar as it's designed for cool-toned or pigmented lips. So we try to even out the lip color. So I tend to choose the shade for the client for lip neutralization. When it comes to lip blush, usually they can choose the color. But for lip neutralization, we color correct. So it's like makeup. We color correct, and it's usually a precursor to lip blushing. Yes.
And how is the process like?
So we start with numbing. A lot of people think that, because they think immediately a tattoo is painful, right? But we do numbing, and after 20 minutes to 30 minutes of numbing, then we start with the procedure, and we use very fine needles. And we also use cosmetic grade, and in my case, I use EU compliant pigments that fade over time. So it's not like a permanent tattoo that's forever on your skin.
Yeah.
It fades over time.
When you take a look at these pigments, just what are they? Do you have any idea what they're made of, or what quick tell us about them? Because some people are probably still thinking about tattoos in general, but these are completely different.
Yeah. So the difference between the pigment of a permanent tattoo that artists use on the body and a makeup tattoo lies in it's kind of scientific, but lies in the molecular structure. So essentially, the molecular structure of a body tattoo is bigger than those of a makeup tattoo. So it's like finer, the particles are finer, and we use organic compounds with inorganic. So it's like a hybrid, organic with inorganic as stabilizers. And there's actually a lot of regulations in Europe when it comes to cosmetic tattoo, and that's why I studied in Europe. That's why I decided to do an international certification, because they're the most, I guess, stringent in terms of this. And I want to bring that to the Philippines. I want to bring like a more professionalized type of service when it comes to semi-permanent makeup.
Nakita ko na, I believe that in London,
Yes.
was going to bring out an accent, but rather not.
Yes.
But when you look at when you look at the process, you mentioned lip neutralization.
Yes.
The term neutralization, at least para sa akin, a bit foreign. What does that actually mean in terms of the process, in terms of what you're doing?
Yeah, so imagine, like in makeup, when we color correct, like dark under eyes or dark spots, like if you have acne spots, it's the same concept. So you need to have an advanced knowledge of color theory to know how to neutralize like purplish or brownish lips. So there are some clients who prefer a more even color on their lips, especially with Filipinos, because we tend to have more melanin in our body. So the response of our skin or of our lips when we get sun damage is to have darker lips.
Well, and like you mentioned, it's normally a per case basis.
Yes.
But typically, how soon till you see the results? How many sessions?
So I recommend a minimum of 2 sessions if it's your first time getting a lip tattoo. And usually in those 2 sessions, you can see a very drastic difference, but it really depends on what your end goal is. And I always ask my clients this, what's your end goal? Do you want more subtle, like natural looking lips? Or do you want like a lipstick effect where it's like super defined borders, very bright pigment on your lips? It's like you're wearing makeup. So it depends really on your end goal.
Imagine waking up in the morning and you have these
I know, I was like,
red
it looks so
lips,
pretty.
right?
Look
It's
at the
definitely
lip
life-changing.
screen.
I myself have undergone lip tattoos several times. I used to have very pale inner lips, and then my outer lips are darker because of genetics. And I get like maybe 70% of my clients do lip neutralization. Yeah, because they just want their lips to be even, and then when they put on like a subtle lip gloss or lipstick, it looks even better because there's no dark tones like parang fighting with the pigment.
So you have a
We
better
should
looking
all do
base.
that.
So when you put your
Yes.
lipstick, it
Yes,
actually
yeah.
looks
You can
better.
see, yeah.
And the lip blush and the lip neutralization, these are treatments that are totally different from the lip plumping.
It's different from the lip fillers. Lip fillers, you use an injection. So you
Okay.
inject the lips with volume. So it increases the volume. However, I would say that for those who are a bit, on the fence when it comes to lip fillers, maybe they can try seeing if lip tattoo can make their lips look fuller. Because sometimes it's just that your lips are undefined or the borders are undefined, but you really have big lips. And then I have clients who are surprised after they get lip tattoo. My lips look fuller even though I didn't get fillers.
Yeah.
They're just
It's
more
because,
defined.
Yes,
Yeah.
and the color really makes your lips pop.
Oh, I definitely
Yeah.
want to try and get one, and we'll
Yeah,
schedule our
I know.
appointment.
Chris. You definitely
Yeah, we
What are the
will.
health conditions you have to consider? Because I'm not sure if it's for everyone.
Yeah, so definitely we have to consider things like pre-existing health conditions, unmanaged diabetes, unmanaged hypertension. If you have a tendency to get cold sores, that's why I work with doctors also to help me figure out if the client needs medication before the procedure or after the procedure. But we do have a screening for clients, and I also provide free online consultation if they message me on Instagram.
And apart from the lip tattoos and lip neutralization, what other semi-permanent makeup do you recommend for the girlies who want to simplify their daily routine?
Yeah, so aside from lip tattoo, I also offer brows. So we have microblading, we have brow shading, and then we also have eyeliner tattoo, which, it's very subtle, but it really helps, I guess, give more life to your face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know, apart from semi-permanent makeup, you're also being a great CEO here in the Philippines as a young entrepreneur.
Yes.
You're bringing innovative products, I'm hearing, from Canada. Can you talk more about that? You're bringing this really bougie chair for, I guess, a spa?
Yeah, so if you visit my studio at Green Hills, it's Cecille Beauty. We do have the first ever luxury coffee and tea spa.
Coffee and tea spa.
Yeah. So, and what's nice about it is, so we do have single-use boxes. So one use, one box per client, and then depending on your skin type, we have different variants.
Okay.
So if you have dry skin, we have a variant for dry skin. We have a variant for damaged skin, sun-damaged skin. So, yeah.
I mean, coffee and tea. I got hungry. And it's a spa.
It smells really good. And we love the coffee because it's a natural antioxidant. And we use organic skincare ingredients to really help. Because sometimes we forget that we put a lot of skincare on our face, but then we forget about body care.
Right.
It's also part of, the skin barrier. We have to take care of it. It's part of our health. So that's why I wanted to bring that to the Philippines.
Yeah, and I saw too that your chairs, they open, and then there's water
Like a pod.
and everything.
Yeah.
It's kind
So
of
it's a built-in
cool.
spa. You just sit there and then we do everything for you.
Oh my goodness, we gotta try
You can
that.
even have a facial while getting your hand spa done. Yeah. Yeah.
We definitely gotta try that.
We will, definitely.
Yeah, you definitely should visit.
Now, for our viewers who would like to visit and check out your services and have a lip tattoo, where can they find you?
Yeah, so they can find me at GH Mall, the new Green Hills Mall, 5th floor, and the name of my studio is Cecille Beauty.
Do you have any social media presence?
Yes, so you can find me at Chris, not Chris, so it's CHRIS, not KRIS.
So hindi KRIS.
Not KRIS. That's why you
Gulo mo siya, Paolo.
Medyo napaisip ako doon.
Nagtatanong lang.
Okay, let's clarify again. What's your handle?
Hindi daw
My
Chris.
handle on Instagram is
not Chris.
CHRIS, not KRIS.
Okay.
But they can also follow Cecille Beauty because that's where I post all my works.
Okay.
I post a lot of healed results because that's really important.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you'll see us there, definitely. Thank you
Yes.
so much, Chris, for making time and coming here.
And it's not
Thank you, sir.
KRIS, huh?
Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was Chris, not K-R-I-S, C-H-R-I-S Pino. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we'll talk about the power of personal branding with Coach Cecille Rebollos up next. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back. Don't go away. Welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. You are your best product, and today our guest will share expert tips on standing out and making your mark. Joining us live via Zoom is personal branding coach Cecille Rebollos. It's a beautiful day, Miss Cecille. Welcome to the show. Good morning.
Good morning, and thank you for having me here. I love the energy in this room.
And Miss Cecille, we are excited to talk about personal branding. But first, how do you define this, and why is it important in today's world?
All right, so personal branding, there's a lot of definition to it, but basically the definition that I really particularly like is these are all the collective emotions and memories that the person other than yourself have in relationship with you. Okay, so if I'm going to put it bluntly, personal brand is really your reputation. That's it. It's how people are experiencing you, whether from a personal front or from a professional front. And whatever that is what builds your personal brand.
Cecille, I was looking at your background. I believe in the 90s you were in different ad agencies. So just looking at the way that you have experience in terms of practically just selling brands, it feels like in today's world in particular, the term, or at least the use of personal branding, just feels so much more important with the rise of social media, with the rise of basically an online persona complementing what a person is in real life or away from the screen. Just how much more current is the term personal branding right now, given all these considerations and in terms of selling yourself to try and advancing for further for whatever you need to?
So yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think when you talk about reputation, it's something that you already have. But it's more important now more than ever, because usually the currency of, the way we deal with people, if you're an entrepreneur, even your business, is really hinged on your reputation. And it's very important also because people talk about you. Unlike before, when you have this, when people, like say, for example, you look for a job, offices or companies will go to your school, get your background, and then sit with you for an interview. These days, access to who you are, what you do, is usually through social media. And if you do not put together your own narrative as to who you are, what you can offer, what your values are, what you stand for, and what your purpose, somebody else is going to write that narrative. And that's the reason why it's very important that you are very mindful about what you put out there when it comes to your capability, your capacity, what you can offer, right, and even your value.
Yeah, I totally agree, because right now social media, that's our portfolio / resume essentially already. So how can someone identify their unique value proposition when they're building their personal brand?
All right, so thank you for that question. Just to put things in context, a lot of people think that personal brand is just marketing per se, right? But when you're talking about reputation, it really has to hinge on authenticity. I know that it's kind of an overused word, and a lot of people really do not know the essence of authenticity, but this is you being real. It has to be real, it has to be you. Okay, that's one. Second, you need to be very clear as to what you would like to put out there. What is the impact or the contribution that you would like to create out there, whether it's on a personal front or on a professional front. And so when I support other people about putting together their personal brand, I usually start by asking them what their values are. What are the things that are very important to them? And when I'm talking about values, this could be values on excellence, integrity, for example, passion, compassion, kindness, things like that, and see where their strength lies. Putting them all together, also forming and being very clear, why do I do this thing? Or why do I do what I do? What is your purpose? And if you put that together, if that is very clearly communicated in the things that you say, the things that you do, and how you are also with other people, that is when people will now create a distinct definition of who you are. Does that make sense?
It reminds me of, I'm sorry to bring back your advertising background po. If there's trauma there, pasensya na po. When you talk about truth well told, I believe that's the McCann World Group's philosophy. It feels like it's about knowing yourself as well as making sure that you're able to communicate it properly, practically knowing the product. Again, sorry to use marketing terms here, knowing the product and then being able to present it properly. Now, we see a lot of people, we see a lot of coaches as well try to put in almost a one-size-fits-all approach into creating personal brands online in general. Do you see people trying to do this, or at least making the effort to do so? And of course, what are the common mistakes that you find that people are doing as they are trying to do all of this?
Right. So truth well told is also very, very familiar because I also came from that shop. That's where I also grew up. So what are the common mistakes? So like I mentioned, in putting things into context, a lot of people make a mistake that personal branding is just pure advertising, all the blows and whistles about who you are. And so I think if there's one thing that you need to be cautious about or be very mindful is that you really need to communicate the truth about you. And a lot of that sounds like it's out there, but it's really about the values that you embrace. And that will never wear off whether you are doing it from your relationship from a personal front or from a professional front. So number one, again, like I said, you really need to be real about it, and you also have to be very clear, why am I doing this? And so that's why I like the word truth well told. So the question is, what's the truth about you? And this does not mean that you must say, for example, certain bad experiences you've had in the past. Part of being real also is, also sharing some of the difficulties that you may have, because that is what makes it real for people. And when you are real at that level, the more you're able to connect because you become more relatable.
Yeah.
So that's the power of being real when it comes to personal brand.
But I feel like sometimes it is hard. It's easier said than done, right? Because especially as professionals, we don't want to share too much of our life. So how do we, balance telling too much and being real on social media?
All right. So I always tell this that you need to manage your digital footprint because this is where people will find you. That's why there's this saying that your reputation precedes you, that your personal brand precedes you, because this is where people now search about you, and there's a lot of judgment about you. And so that being said, I caution people that if you're going to make content, it's not just because you just want to be out there. You have to be purposeful about your content. Content that will, number one, help communicate, for example, things that you stand for. Content that will help build your reputation. Sharing, say, for example, results that you've created. Engaging people more into conversation so that they get to know also who you are, also find out what people value the most. And also content that will help you expand your circle of influence. And so circle of influence basically are all the people who talk about you. So this can be your friends, family, office mate. And so what kind of content will also help them support you so that when people ask, say, for example, about your expertise or looking for somebody who you're very good at, they also have something to talk about. And that's the reason why when you're using social media, because it's a very, very powerful tool, make sure that content is, you're very mindful about what you put out there. So make it purposeful.
Yeah, you know, you mentioned the authenticity here a while ago, and I just want to piggyback on that a bit more because, syempre, authenticity, it feels like some people feel like they can manufacture it minsan just by siguro oversharing or overshowing, or minsan they feel that they are caught within a release schedule in terms of yung content nila just to show how authentic they are in general. But what's your advice to people who are having siguro a bit of a difficult time trying to stay true to themselves or at least overselling yung pagiging authentic nila sa kanilang branding?
Right. I think people have this mistake that just by sharing exactly what I'm feeling right now, that's already being authentic. Okay, fine. So I think there's like a thin line also. You kind of have to guard yourself and be mindful. Why am I posting this thing? Why am I sharing this? I know that I always call emotions as your truth meter. How you deal with it and what you share about it and why you share it, that's where the thin line is. And say, for example, if you would like to share something, how you're feeling, simply because wala lang, I just want to express this, then you will have to ask also yourself, am I just reacting to things or am I responding responsibly to what I am feeling right now? And so if you, like I say, for example, post certain things when I'm very disappointed or frustrated about a particular service, okay? I have to hold back and my anger or my frustration sometimes, and I utilize my post as number one, either a constructive post on questioning people, how come these things are happening, finding out also what people's thoughts are around this. So I allow these things, this frustration, and post something about, say, frustration to spark conversation.
Yeah.
And so you gather people's thoughts, how they deal about it. And so it can be a learning moment instead of just dumping how you're feeling at the moment with really no purpose. So I guess that would be more.
Talaga po, and basically it has to be well thought of. It's not just throwing stuff out there and hoping that it sticks. Tama po ba?
Yeah. Yes, that's correct.
So, of course, when we deal with all of that, Anne, I know that you want to ask a bit more.
Yeah, I know.
There's just so much to consider here.
I know. I was going to ask you, Miss Cecille, have you ever had, a client that you had to help unlearn a personal brand that they thought they should have or they thought was working for them in terms of rebranding yourself? Because they say you don't get a second chance on first impressions, right? So is this always true? And if someone needs to rebrand, how do you help them? And how do they stay true to themselves, now that they're changing their personal brand?
Interestingly enough, you ask that because I've had a student or a coachee where there was some sort of, she had a problem because of a certain incident many years ago. And then when we were talking about this, she actually cried to me and she said that I don't think I want to go through this because once I go out there, they will find out what I've done in the past. And so I told her, look, this is actually the perfect moment for you to do this because when you try to, or when you intentionally want to change for good, right? Not just for the sake of advertising yourself, but there's a genuine desire to shift things for you so that you become better. You also make your relationship better. It can actually be a learning point for you and a learning point for other people. So not that you highlight that, but you utilize how are you able to overcome that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people can very much relate to it. People might think, You know how powerful second chances are? And so you utilize that to tell people, look, it's okay if you made a mistake in the past. Right? And so we utilize now, okay, what were the lessons you've learned from this particular experience? And how do you want to utilize these learnings now to become better at what you do personally and professionally? So that's where you now focus your narrative.
Coach Cecille, we're sorry, we're running out of time in this. I wish we had a podcast instead kasi grabe. There's so much to talk about. But then right before we let you go, just really quickly, because I really enjoyed that last statement that you made. Do you feel though that dumadami na ang second chances natin dahil sa social media? Kasi napakabilis ng content generation, yung flow ng content. Dumadami na ba ang second chances sa mga tao because of how social media is?
I would say that there is an opportunity for that. There's a lot of opportunity for that. But I would also caution you, what kind of second chances are we looking for? Is it just something that's mababaw, or you're genuinely wanting to get that second chance so that you create a better impact in this world? Also make yourself better.
And with that philosophical note, we'll wrap things up. Coach, maraming salamat.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Personal branding coach Cecille Rebollos, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, so it is officially summer. We take a look at the common health problems in store for us now that the tag-init season is in full swing. That conversation next on Weather HQ on It's a Beautiful Day. We'll be right back.
Extreme events will become stronger and stronger, more heat waves. It will threaten our food security. It will threaten our lives, our property.
But nature also holds the key to disaster protection.
Dahil sa mangrove, hindi na naano yung balas pag bumagyo. Yung hangin na ano na rin na...
Ano po, nahaharangan?
Oo, parang naharangan na rin siya.
With just a few taps and a simple run, you can help protect the environment. Learn how the G-Forest project of GCash paves the way for a greener future. Catch Pay It Forward on March 31 at 8:30 p.m., featuring real stories of hope and change only here on Milyonario News Channel.
Get to the latest stories.
The Philippines bags a historic bronze at the 2025 Asia-Pacific Women's Lacrosse Championship.
The updates.
Table tennis power duo siblings brought home medals from the WTT Youth Contender.
The scores and what to celebrate in the world of sports.
I'm Anton Rojas.
And I'm Erica Christensen.
On the scorecard.
Where sports is our business.
And business is our sport.
Only here on BNC, the Billionario News Channel. My Rodriguez, My Milyonario, Trade Talks, 11 a.m. on BNC, the Billionario News Channel.
Welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. This is the Weather HQ segment. Now, Pag-asa has officially announced the start of the tag-init season in the Philippines. Now, as temperatures soar, the increase in heat and humidity can lead to a rise in common diseases. Now, these include heat stroke, dehydration, and respiratory infections, which often spread more easily during the hot weather. Now, to help us understand these health risks better, we're joined via Zoom by Dr. Justin Cinco from the Birth MD QC and Camarines Doctors Hospital. Magandang umaga, Doc Cinco. Thank you so much for joining us on It's a Beautiful Day.
Hi, thank you for having me. It's nice to be here.
Doc, let's start off first with the fact that a lot of people know and understand that there are certain illnesses that are relatively seasonal depending on what the weather is like. Here in the Philippines, when we talk about the tag-init season, what diseases typically spike in your experience, or what the data shows that you have to deal with more?
Okay, so during this hot, dry season, usually we get cases of skin disease, skin problems, mostly sunburns, heat rashes, or we call them bungang araw or prickly heat. There's also cases of heat stroke, very dangerous, and some infectious diseases, like as you've said, the respiratory illnesses, they happen all year long, and skin infections as well, like impetigo or mamaso, and chickenpox, and also currently measles is on the rise, so that's something that we are wary about as well.
Is measles related to the tag-init or these higher temperatures?
Well, not really. Probably not, because measles isn't typically related because of the peak into the rising of the temperature.
So let's talk about some of the more heat-related illnesses, or at least afflictions. We mentioned, or at least what's going around in the news more, is about heat stroke in particular, and dehydration or extreme dehydration due to the high heat indices that we're experiencing right now. If I'm not mistaken, around 47 degrees Celsius in Dagupan at the moment. So when you have reports of that with high temperatures, just how much does that increase the likelihood of heat stroke? And of course, how can people at least monitor themselves better when it comes to their own hydration?
Okay, so when we're talking about heat strokes and heat exhaustion in general, it's because of the body's temperature getting too high, and as well as the environment the body is in is already too high, and the body can no longer regulate its own temperature. Generally, so how to avoid that or keep hydrated is, well, first off, you have to keep your environment cool, or if you're working outside, try to work in the shade, wear some protective headgear, some wide-brimmed hats, and keep a water bottle nearby all the time. Generally, we want you to drink at least, maybe, if you're an adult, generally for adults, it's 2 liters a day. That's including the fluids you get from soups, from the food stuff that you eat. And if you're sweating, exercising, doing a lot of manual labor, I'd suggest you drink a lot more. So if you're thirsty, you drink water. And a convenient thing to probably carry around is a towel, so that you can wet that towel and keep yourself cool. Like apply the cold packs or the wet towels on your neck, on your armpits, on your groins. That will help lower down your body temperature.
Yeah, you mentioned certain age groups in particular, so I want to focus on that first. When there are certain age groups that are more vulnerable to heat stroke, a lot of people would think of the elderly and the children. Is the spike, or at least is the increase in terms of heat-related illnesses that much higher in terms of the children and the elderly compared to the regular adults?
Yes. For children especially, children especially less than 1 year old, or the really young ones, the 1 to 2 months old, they're really at risk for heat exhaustion because they still cannot regulate their body temperatures well. That's why we're the ones who actually keep them comfortable. And for the elderly as well, especially if they have comorbidities, which is likely in elderlies, usually they have hypertension, they have diabetes, kidney problems, and that will make their bodies more prone to heat strokes because they can't regulate a lot of their body, their physiologic. Their physiologies are different now.
Yeah.
And they're at risk for a lot of electrolyte imbalances, problems with their blood pressure because of the heat. So that will compound and make heat stroke a lot more likely and a lot more dangerous for them.
Well, Doc, we've heard the tips over and over again with how to deal with extreme temperatures. So when it comes to staying indoors, staying away from the sun, trying to limit your time outside, we've heard all of that. I want to focus on one thing that that you mentioned a while ago, which is the hydration. because some people believe that as long as you drink something cool, that's going to be enough. Sometimes juices, sometimes sweet drinks, and perhaps maybe saying that, hey, maybe an electrolyte drink will be good enough instead of just a cup of water. When you hear people talk about that, what is the actual proper way to hydrate, especially during this time?
Okay, I would say there's not really anything, any studies against drinking these electrolyte drinks. You might be, if you find them more palatable than just plain water, I would say it's better that you drink anything or you drink something instead of nothing. So I would actually encourage these people, if you don't like water, because I know I usually practice with children. My patients are usually children, and a lot of them hate water. And sometimes I tell the parents, it's better than nothing. So, but the proper way is to have your drinks at hand. Drink it frequently. So every time when you're out, and especially when you feel thirsty, that's actually your body's way of telling you that, hey, your electrolytes are weird now. It's time for you to fix your body. And then, so you drink a cup of water and a glass of water, cold water or warm water, regardless of the temperature, it will help hydrate your body.
I like how you said you have to drink it constantly. So hindi naman pwede na, you mentioned, I think, 2 liters for an adult per day. Hindi naman isang upuan mag 2 liters ka, okay na ako.
Yeah, yes. No, hindi naman 2 liters. Lalagukin mo, no? So you can drink it like, so 2 liters can be around 8. That's where the 8 glasses a day comes from. So 8 glasses is roughly 200 to 250 ml. So yeah, you can drink a glass of water every 3 hours if you want.
All right, so at least alam natin na i-spread out natin sa buong araw. Doc, thank you so much for joining us. For those who want to reach out to you, consult with you, where can they find you?
So I practice at Camarine Doctors Hospital and also at the Birth MD in Fairview.
All right, thank you so much. That is Dr. Justin Cinco of the Birth MD and Camarine Doctors Hospital. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, well, the wildfires in South Korea have become the country's worst disaster as we take a look at the global weather. It has now killed at least 28 people and destroyed historic temples. The largest fire, starting in Uisong, has burned over 38,000 hectares. Strong winds and dry conditions have caused it to spread quickly, with over 120 helicopters fighting the flames. Experts blame climate change for the fire's intensity, which have devastated an area the size of half of Singapore, damaging landmarks like the Gonsa Temple. Authorities are working to protect the UNESCO sites. Nearly 100 passengers boarded an old steam train in Taiwan this week as the cherry blossom season peaked in the mountains. The train traveled up Alishan for a scenic 6-hour ride along a historic railway originally built for logging. Passengers Chang Ya-ju shared that it's a one-of-a-kind experience, with the cherry blossoms being beautiful and noting that the scenery, particularly near the snow-capped Yushan, is remarkable. The popular narrow-gauge railway, which reopened last year after typhoon and earthquake damage, is hosting its 8th special blossom-themed journey. Now, we've got more stories for you after a break, plus your horoscope of the day. Eto na! It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back. Keep it here on BNC, the Billionaire News Channel.
aber ich denke, es ist trotzdem wichtig, dass wir diese Freiheit uns nicht nehmen lassen. Und die Kolleginnen und Kollegen sind da und das ist, glaube ich, ganz wichtig.
Hi there, welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. Yeah, eto na. Are you gonna be lucky today or not? Let's go find out from our resident energizer and feng shui master, Hans Kua, in our horoscope of the day. Take it away, Master Hans.
Good morning! It's a beautiful day with me, Master Hans Kua. Ito po ang horoscope forecast for Friday, March 28. Para sa mga pinanganak ng Year of the Rat, ugaliin maglakad-lakad tuwing hapon, it's good for your heart. Yellow at 4. Kay Ox naman tayo magbigay ng simpleng sorpresa kay partner para dagdag ang saya. Pink at 6. Tiger naman tayo, huwag tangkaing mag-invest sa mga bagay na hindi mo lubos nalalaman. Red at 7. Rabbit naman tayo mag-focus sa deadlines upang maiwasan ang pressure. Blue at 9. Kay Dragon, iwasan ang mga unnecessary na gastos para sa financial stability. Orange at 5. Kay Stick naman tayo, choose wisely at maging mapanuri kung sa online dating ka naghahanap ng pag-ibig, ng love life. Purple at 3. Ito naman! Kay Year of the Horsey, ang sipag mo ay magdadala ng magandang feedback. Gray at 1. Kay Ship naman tayo no worries, basta wais sa paggastos White at 2. Kay Monkey naman tayo magandang panahon para magplano ng long-term career goals. Green at 8. Kay Rooster naman tayo kung may problema, pag-usapan agad upang hindi mag-escalate sa away. Yellow at 4. Kay Doggy naman tayo huwag magtiwala agad. Bantayan ang mga red flags tulad ng biglaang maghihiram ng pera. Pink at 6. Kay Pink naman tayo bigyan ng oras ang mental health. Mag-relax at mag-recharge. Blue at 9. Ako po, si Master Hans Kua. Paalala lang ito po'y patnubay lamang. Ang tunay na swerte ay nagsisimula sa pagiging totoo. Abangan ang horoscope of the day. Dito lang po sa It's a Beautiful Day!
Thank you so much, Master Hans
Birthday
Kua.
girl, what did Master Hans say about you today?
I should be smart on my spending, so hindi ko na muna kayo papakainin, guys. Titipid muna ako.
Wow! Lahat ng camera, guys. So, the prod team, shut their camera
like, what? Tipid daw ako, sabi ni Master Hans
He says it's just a patnubay. So, it's just...
So, what is patnubay?
Yeah, that. It's just patnubay, girl. You don't have to follow what he says. It comes from the heart.
I love how she confidently uses the Tagalog word, right?
It's just guidance. Thank you, Beshi. It's just guidance. So you don't have to listen to what he says, what you're feeling from your heart. That's what you do.
Okay.
So everybody's hungry. So I think you should feed us.
Monique, you're making me giggle.
Oh, giggle. Speaking of giggle, how can we explain this to people?
One of the Filipino language's unique words, gigil, has made it to the Oxford English Dictionary. On its website, Oxford says that gigil has appeared regularly on lists of untranslatable words. The word is described as a feeling people get when we see someone or something cute. It adds if a Filipino says that they're gigil, they're just dealing with overwhelming feelings that are usually positive. Other Filipino words that made the cut include kababayan, lumpia, Pinoy, salakot, and videoke. Wow, apparently now videoke
Salakot?
What's salakot? That's the only one I don't know.
It's like salawal, di ba?
I don't know what's
Ay, di ba hat yun?
Sa hat.
She's also learning. Mali yung birthday girl.
Wait na. Salakot is the hat.
What's salawal? Shorts. Ay, ang layo. Shorts and hat.
I'm so sorry.
Ang confident pa niya, no? At least si Mo, alam niya yung mga pinagsasabi niya eh.
It's okay, we'll give it to her. It's her
Our word of the day is salakot.
Salakot, yeah.
Yeah, salakot is a hat
Is that the triangular
yes,
hat?
Yes, it's a triangular hat that goes around.
Interesting,
It's seen as a regular thing. But then, you know what,
We
ladies
have
and
another
gentlemen?
word of the day today.
What?
Ano?
Anne.
That's not a word. Pangalan po yun.
Whatever,
And the reason why
it's
that we're
still a
saying that is
word.
kasi birthday po ni Anne Asis-Carilo. So happy birthday to Anne.
Thank you!
It's a fire hazard, so just pretend like there's a candle with a fire.
Yeah, but then the funny thing is, si Mo tried to write a
Oh, it's correct!
Funny
Wait, I'm gonna
caption.
take this away from you. Can we zoom in on the cake?
Oh my God,
she's
that's
singing.
me! My sariling show! Oh my God, she's by herself lang pala.
Mga kaibigan, kada umaga, maaga si Anne dahil nagpapa-concert siya para sa staff.
She's really always here way before us, and this is why pala.
Ayan, pakinggan natin.
Sa liwanag ng ating pag-ibig.
Sharon is shaking! Wow!
Mga kapatid, dyan po nagtatapos ang anniversary
Thank you so much,
concert
guys. I am so
ni Anne
touched.
Hold on,
Asis-Carilo.
Direk, can we zoom in on the cake? Because I think it's a great message. Matanda ka na! That's from Paolo, by the way.
Again, happy birthday.
Happy birthday!
Anne.
Thank you so much. Oh my God, I'm
Beautiful
super
day.
touched. Yeah, thank you.
Si
Oh my God.
Derek,
I was not expecting this.
si Derek is the one who put together the song package.
Thank you,
The front team did. So
Oo.
else, Direct,
Sa totoo lang,
everybody.
45 minutes na yung haba ng package na yun.
Oo,
but
we
can
had to
only
cut it
show,
down.
Yeah, we can only show that
Every
much.
morning, my 1-hour concerts yan.
Kasi may dance segment, may dance break
Yeah.
din yun eh.
Meron ba?
Oh,
Oh my
yun.
God,
Galing
can
sa
you give that to
TikTok
me?
niya.
Can you give that to me, Direct?
My duet sa ni Pomelo.
Oh my goodness. But again,
But thank you so much.
For
Thank
all
you,
those
guys.
who want to go greet Anne online, go greet her at Voice Talent Tita.
Yes.
And of course, that's on Instagram and on TikTok. For those who are not fans of Anne, you can tell them that you're upset at her at Monique Tuzon.
Wow!
Okay? So yan po yung social media niya. Kung ayaw niya sa kanya at Monique Tuzon po. That's where you put all the
Private
complaints.
po ako. Thank
Okay.
you. Wait, are we
Alright.
allowed to light the cake?
Yeah, I mean like
Pwede ba?
yeah, we are. So
I don't know.
let's-
okay.
I don't
We
know
have a
how
bit
to
of
use.
time.
I don't know how to use.
Baka biglang magano
Yeah.
yung sprinklers natin
Oh,
here,
it's-
ah? Oh my gosh.
Then it's a beautiful day, diba? Kung ganun.
Yay!
And then there you go. So
Oh my gosh.
birthday to you.
Guys.
Happy birthday. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, maraming salamat. Thank you so much for joining us on this special Friday, March 28th birthday po ni Anne Asis-Carilo, ang anniversary episode po natin.
Yes, I am Anne Asis-Carilo. I'll catch you guys later at 11 a.m. on Mellow 94.7 BFM. And wherever this day and this weekend takes you, always choose to be kind and pack your own sunshine and have some cake.
And I'm Monique Tuzon. Have a great weekend ahead. Join us again on Monday at 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. only here on
It's a beautiful day.